So we're gonna hit 4 different stretches for 1 minute on each side, starting with our couch stretch. So we're gonna elevate our back foot on a couch, bench, chair, whatever you need. And if this is too intense, you can always lower down your foot as well. So your hip and knee should be in line. You're gonna squeeze the glute and push the hip forward, all without arching your lower back. So we're gonna be here for 1 minute total. It is recommended 2 minutes. So you can always revisit that afterwards. Make sure you're squeezing the cheek, push the hip forward. You'll feel everything on the front of your hip all the way down to the knee, and you'll feel it the most where you're the most tight. So if that is down right by the knee, then that's just where you're the most tight. And as you keep consistent with this, you'll notice that that tightness will travel and it won't be as intense. We're halfway, so we're gonna raise our arms overhead and then lean in the opposite direction. Still try to keep your hips next to each other. We're simply pulling the left arm away from us. 15 more seconds, squeeze the glute, push forward. Try your hardest not to open up, stay square. Squeeze the glute, push forward. We have 5, and 3, 2, 1. Lower with control, release, gently, right foot up, knee underneath the hip, and we're 1 minute here. Push the hip forward, squeeze the glute, focus on where you're the tightest and just find your happy place. Pushing the hip forward as much as you can without arching that lower back, squeezing the glute. The front leg should be at 90 degrees. Try your hardest not to grimace. If you're making an ouch face, then it sends messages to your brain that this is, even though it is a painful thing, but it's a bad thing, so you don't want to send that message. This is a good treat for your body. Hands overhead, pull over to the opposite side. This is stretching everything on the side as it ties in through the hip. Good job. Breathe through the belly. 10 more seconds here. This is a great one if you sit at a desk all day. We have 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release gently. And now we're gonna hit our frog pose. The inner thigh, this also is the psoas. So if you feel your lower back on this, it's because we're stretching the psoas as well. So knees are gonna go nice and wide. Your heels go directly behind your knees and your toes point out. So if your heels are together, you're releasing the adductors here. So knees go, or heels go out to match the knees. And we're 1 minute here. You can anchor with your elbows and just sit the hips back. It is gonna be pretty intense, but try to relax as much as you can. Try to keep your back straight. So if you're going all the way back, but you're rounding, you're not getting the benefits here. So even if you can't go as far back with your back straight, that's fine, you'll get there. Keep pushing back. Breathing with the belly. 30 more seconds. We have 15, option to stay here or go into frog rocks. Rocking forward, squeezing the glute, pushing the hips back nice and gently. Squeeze the glute and back. We have 3, 2, 1, and release. Good job. Okay, so now we're gonna hit a pigeon pose for the outside of the hip here. So my right leg is gonna come forward, my left hip is going to point down, and you're only gonna go as deep as you can without compromising. So if this is as far as you can go, that's fine. Try to get that left hip down. We're gonna lower down here. We're gonna take it straight on for 30, and then we're gonna intensify it. If this is already pretty intense, stay exactly where you're at. Sinking the chest deeper, trying to get that left shoulder down as well. Left hip stays down. And we're 30 seconds in. To get deeper into this stretch, walk your arms opposite. So my right leg is stretching. I'm walking my arms to the left side. Trying to sit my hip or my shoulders into the floor. Deep inhales, every breath you should get deeper. We're 15 seconds in. And we have 10. Deep inhales. And one more breath here. Deep inhale. And release. All right, gentle switch here. Left foot forward. And 30 seconds here. Try to get that right hip all the way down. Sit the chest nice and deep into it. So the hip, the right hip and the shoulders want to go perfectly square. If they're not square, this is your goal here. 10 more seconds until we intensify. We have 3, 2, and now walk your hands over to the right side. Fifteen more seconds, deep breaths. And one more deep breath here. Awesome work. Go ahead and release. And the next one is for hip flexion. So this is a great one to hit if you have a lot of lunges, squatting, if you have trouble picking your leg up. So we're gonna have the right foot forward, and as we do this, I want you to push against your knee. So you're pushing your shin and your knee away from you here. The left hand's gonna go behind the head and we're angling up, okay? So pushing the right knee away from you with your shoulder, left foot or left knee is on the ground, left hand behind your head, and we're opening up as much as we can up towards the sky. Make sure your shoulder is going with you, it's not just your elbow. As you do this, push as hard as you can handle against that right leg. You should feel your right hip opening up, and you may even feel the left hip flexor or adductor being pulled. That's fine. That just means you're tight there. Keep pushing. We're halfway. Keep going. And we have 20 seconds. From here, I want you to release. I want you to walk your palms to your toes here. So palms are starting at the toes. And I want you to sit your elbows as low as you can here, then come up. We're gonna be here for 20 seconds. Sit as deep as you can, trying to get your elbows to touch. If you can't, that's fine. Three, 2, 1. Good job. Let's switch to that left side. So you're pushing your left knee away from you. Hand goes behind the head and open up towards the sky. Really push. Try to feel that hip open up. We're 30 seconds in, 10 more here, and then we're going for those elbow taps. Deep inhales. 3, 2, 1. So walk your palms up towards your toes. Try to keep your right hip square to the ground. Lower, hold, lift. Good. Try to get your elbows behind the wrists. 3, 2, 1. Awesome job. Go ahead and hit a child's pose. Deep inhale and exhale. One more.